Bloodborne is one of the most revered and loved games of recent video game history due to its incredible aesthetics, lore, and gameplay. As part of the impact that the Soulsborne games had in the indie game landscape, we have seen many games imitate its mechanics. However, in regards to aesthetics and setting, I have seen many imitate and homage Dark Souls, but not so much Bloodborne. Today, I am going to talk to you about a game that took the heart and soul of Bloodborne and infused it to a 16-bit pixel art style, creating a truly unique game. Hi everyone, my name is Jeremy and this is my non-spoiler review for Hunt the Night for PC on Steam. This game was developed by Moonlight Games and published by Dangan Entertainment. Hunt the Night follows the story of Vesper, a member of the organization known as the Stalkers, who are dedicated to hunting the horrible creatures that threaten human life in the world of Medhram. You must now explore the world and find the missing fragments to restore a seal and stop the creatures of the night from spreading. The story in this game is told through animated cutscenes, character dialogue, and lore. And I have to point out that there is a lot of lore in this game and that it is very deep and very good. So let's talk about the visuals of the game. The game goes for a 16-bit pixel art style similar to what you would see in a Super Nintendo game. The game has gothic aesthetics and at the same time its aesthetics and themes are very Bloodborne inspired. In terms of performance, I have to point out that the Steam frame rate counter fluctuated continually. However, I never actually experienced any frame rate drops. The game ran smooth and was very responsive. The game seemed to run at a consistent 60 FPS at 1080p despite the fluctuations that the Steam frame rate counter was reporting. These are the game's PC requirements and these were my PC specs. In regards to the music, all I have to say is that the game is very atmospheric. Most of the time there's very atmospheric music in the background, but when you reach boss fights, some really cool, atmospheric and dramatic, almost opera-like music goes on that really gets your blood pumping and helps you really get immersed into the fight. So all around the music in this game is excellent. Let's talk about the gameplay, because there's a lot to say here. Hunt the Night is an action-adventure game with RPG elements. At its core, this game is a Soulsborne game. The game is mainly focused on fighting and exploration. You can dash, attack, and shoot. You have melee weapons in the form of daggers, swords, great swords, lances, among many others, and ranged weapons in the form of guns, shotguns, and crossbow. Your ranged weapons have 6 bullets to fire, and once you have depleted them, you can replenish them by hitting enemies with your melee weapons. When you attack with your melee weapon, you can attack multiple times in a row to make a combo, and there is a good variety of melee weapons, all with different attack speeds, damage, and effects. You also have special abilities called Dark Power, which are special skills that you can use to damage enemies. These skills have a cooldown time once they're used. By defeating monsters, you get Noctilium, which is the currency of this world, and you use it to buy items and upgrades, not to level up your character. And you don't lose it when you die. You have a hub world that unlocks after completing the opening area of the game, where there are multiple NPCs that you can talk to. Here you will be able to buy armor, weapons, and upgrade your gun skills and increase your healing item. Here you can acquire special missions known as hunts, which I will get more into later on. You can save the game at crow statues, where your life and healing items will be replenished, and you can fast travel from there. So let's talk about the exploration. You can leave the hub and explore the world outside. The world design is very similar to a Super Nintendo Zelda game and Bloodborne at the same time. Exploration is highly incentivized because while you explore, you will find feathers, which are lore documents scattered throughout the world, and you will find many other items that will help you on your journey. You don't have a map, and you are expected to wander and explore the world and find your own path, just as you would do in Bloodborne. The level design is excellent, it's fun to explore and traverse the world, and it's visually interesting. In what regards to character progression, your main character can increase their stats in different ways. You increase your maximum health by finding chalices scattered in the world, or by completing hunts, which are special enemies that you can find in specific locations, and that by defeating them you can increase your maximum health. You can get these hunt jobs at the bar in the hub area. Your healing item can only be activated 3 times before having to go to a save point to replenish. You can increase the maximum number of times you can heal and the potency of your healing item with a character in the hub world using your currency. You can unlock different skills for each of your 3 guns, and you can only equip 1 skill per gun. To unlock more gun skills, you need to find special items abandoned in apothecary labs scattered in the world. You can further equip your character stats by equipping better armor and accessories. The fighting in this game is the other main focus of the gameplay. The fighting is fast paced, but you have to be careful and read your enemy attack patterns carefully so that you know when to dodge or attack. You have to measure your attacks and not spam them to have better control of your character, just as you would do in any Soulsborne game. Enemies clearly telegraph their attacks, so you need to pay careful attention to the animations. The fighting in this game is brutal. Enemies deal a lot of damage, so get ready to die constantly. There are bosses in this game, and they are some of the most incredible set pieces in this game. Each boss has a unique design, music, and attack patterns, and each boss has around 2 phases. Learn the patterns and defeat them to progress the story. So let's talk about the pros and the cons of this game. I'm gonna start with the cons, and I have only 2 complaints, but I have to point out that there are minor complaints. First of all, I had a problem with regular enemy attacks because they were sometimes too fast and kind of cheap, and I'm gonna explain myself. A lot of regular enemies can deal a lot of damage, and they can land hits just as soon as they spawn. There were times when enemies were literally spawned in a fight, and if I was close to the enemy, because I don't know where they're going to spawn, they would literally appear attacking me, and I would not be able to react. And that happened a lot, and it was very frustrating. The other thing that happened a lot is that enemies' attacks can really stack up, and you can lose a lot of life very fast, and this all lent itself for some very frustrating moments. I am aware that this is a Soulsborne inspired game and that you need to get good, as they say, but I feel like this can be tweaked. The other complaint that I have is that there's no map for the world exploration. The world design of this game works without a map. However, the inclusion of a map would have made the exploration much more clean and easy to follow. So let's talk about the pros of this game. I think the first thing that I want to point out is the pixel art style and the gothic aesthetics. The game looks beautiful, and the marriage of the pixel art style with the gothic aesthetics really goes well together and is visually pleasing from beginning to end. The second pro of this game, I would have to say, is the fun and challenging gameplay. This game's gameplay follows a lot of the core tenets of a Soulsborne game, and they executed it in a really good way. So the game is very engaging, very challenging, and very fun. All you have to do is be very patient, because you're gonna die a lot, but you're gonna have a lot of fun in the process. So in conclusion, Hunt the Night is a unique take on a Soulsborne indie game. The 16-bit pixel art style with the fun and challenging gameplay, interesting setting, and engaging mechanics truly make this game stand out. Only a few small hiccups affect the experience in a small way. Nevertheless, the game does enough to stay engaging till the end. For this reason, I recommend Hunt the Night. So that's gonna be it for my non-spoiler review. I will leave the link to the game's Steam page on the description. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Hi everyone, If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to keep up to date with our content.